for joining. We're going to get started in about a minute here just to give everyone some time to join. All right, we're right at 11:02 here, so we'll go ahead and get started. Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's session, Closing the Knowledge Gap, How to Attract and Retain Next-Gen Mainframe Talent. My name is Kelia Estrada-Moeller, and I work with Broadcom Mainframe Software. I've been involved with the Making Our Strong Community Stronger collaborative initiative since its inception. I started my involvement while working over at Tech Channel and made sure to remain involved with the initiative when I transitioned to Broadcom. Since the moment I joined the mainframe world 6 years ago, I was immediately drawn to the people in it, and spotlighting the people behind the platform became my mission as a media and content professional in IT. I'm always amazed to see what can happen when seasoned mainframers and those new to the platform put their heads together, collaborate, and share new ideas. But to continue our platform's growth forward through collaboration, we must bring diversity, equity, and inclusion strategies to the forefront. That's exactly what Making Our Strong Community Stronger is designed to do, not just in the mainframe ecosystem, but the technology industry as a whole, and honestly, even beyond it. Creating safe spaces for diverse employees and making this profession more accessible to new technologists is key, but to effectively do this means having complex and sometimes uncomfortable conversations. It means finding gaps that exist and how to fill them, and it means looking for what's going well and also what's not. Finding ways to make diversity, equity, and inclusion work must be ongoing. It cannot just be a one-time thing. So a large piece of this conversation, and also the reason we're here today, lies in attracting and retaining mainframe talent through internship, mentorship, and hiring programs, all of which you'll learn about in today's session from our amazing panelists. So as everyone logs on, let me just go over a few quick housekeeping items. First, we are recording this webinar and we'll share it on our LinkedIn page for viewing. Second, please know that we will have some time at the end for a Q&A session on mainframe job opportunities. So please keep yourself muted for the duration of the panel discussion. Third, we will be launching a poll during this session, so please take a moment to answer a few questions if you so choose. And last, but absolutely not least, we always encourage engagement. And you'll notice many of our participants will add comments or questions in the chat. So feel free to do the same and make your voice heard. And know that our team will be on hand, ready to respond to questions and comments as they come up. So with that said, we hope you enjoyed today's session. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the moderator of today's panel, Derek Poe, Senior Vice President of Z Architecture Computing at M&T Bank. Over to you, Derek.
Thanks, Kelia. I appreciate it. So hello, everybody. Good morning and good afternoon for some of you. My name is Derek Poe, SVP of Z Architecture at M&T Bank. I've actually been in the place that a lot of you are in right now, just trying to figure out, okay, I'm in school. What am I going to do with my career? I either have my degree or I'm about to have my degree, and what does that really mean? So, for myself, I'm a graduate of the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore and HBCU. And when I was going through that, I was really trying to figure out where I was going to have my career path. And when mainframe came along, it was a very attractive career path for me because it was an untapped space that I could get into. So currently, fast forward, I want to reach out to some of the largest players in the space and see what opportunities they have and see if we can collaborate on just sharing some of the great things that are being done in the space. At my specific company, M&T Bank, we're headquartered in Buffalo, New York. You may see us because we're the official sponsor of the Bills, and we're also owning M&T Bank Stadium for the Ravens. So if you're a fan of one of those teams, you may have seen our name before. We actually have a lot of internship and technology development programs, as well as some development programs specifically focused on Z. So we'll be sharing that information later. But without further ado, I'd like to pass it on to our first panelist, Jen from BMC.
Thank you, Derek. I really appreciate that is a hard intro to follow because I do not have that academic record. So hi everyone, I am Jen Corio. I am a talent acquisition director here at BMC. I am in the UK. It is very cold here today, and last week it was like summer. So I've been with BMC for around 7.5 years. I joined as a recruiter, and in the last 4 or 5 years, I have developed a global role, which has been predominantly focused on our customer success department, recruiting operations, and I led a large workforce transformation program for our R&D mainframe department. For those that are not familiar with BMC, so we were originally founded to help companies optimize their investment in the mainframe technology. And in the past 42 years, we've expanded that expertise through the organic growth and strategic acquisitions and our relentless R&D to include the infrastructure and networks and services in a distributed environments that go across our data centers and multi-cloud for our customers. So today, BMC work with 86% of the Forbes Global 50 to help our customers become autonomous digital enterprise. I'm not going to try and explain what that is to you right now because we could take up the entire hour. But if you'd like to check out the bmc.com website, we do have a lot of information on what an autonomous digital enterprise does for our customers. So we have a global presence in 56 countries with just under 7,000 employees. A fun fact is that our last 5 acquisitions have all been in the mainframe space, all to modernize our products and help meet our customer needs. So like I said, I predominantly look after our customer success function. Our customer success function is built out of customer technical support, education, professional services, and a couple of strategic departments that ensure that our customers get a return on their investment with BMC. So you're probably wondering what our program looks like in terms of our mainframe space. So within our professional services department, we noticed that we had an extreme skill shortage. And with our employees needing to be customer focused as well as technical, we decided to create this program around 2.5 years ago. It's specifically focused on helping recent graduates develop their career within the professional services space. They bring our sort of sales cycle to real life with our products and the customer needs. And it's very, very oriented towards those that want to continue their career, not just in the mainframe space, but in addition to some of our Control M products, which is a scheduling part of our portfolio, or within our mainframe and Z solutions suite. So for you as individuals, just to give you a bit of line of sight in terms of what you'd be gaining through the program. Like I say, we've got 3 different arms to that program. One is specifically to our mainframe Z solutions, which is all about modernizing, investing the mainframe space for our customers. The other is a combination of mainframe and our Control M product, which ensures that we have no downtime within our mainframe space. So in terms of your learning path, our program is built out to last around 17 months. It's a combination of learning. So you go in a rotation across a number of our departments, and you will be involved in some online visual learning and that kind of self-driven, self-paced learning. And then as you come towards the halfway mark on the program, you get involved with our consulting services that are working with real-time customers. So you get exposure to that hands-on learning. Your training is carefully planned, and it's aligned specifically to what you need to have your skill set to be towards the end of the program, the 17-month mark. So just to give you a breakdown, the first 3 weeks of our program is specifically focused on BMC Foundation, so learning who BMC are, who our products are. And then the next 18 weeks are specific to Mainframe Foundation. So that is evolving what you've learned through your studies and upskilling your mainframe skills, so that when you are working with our customers, you really are at the forefront of mainframe modernization. And then you spend 39 weeks, which is a bit of a strange way to describe it, but you're working very closely with our consulting services team. You would be shadowing people that are working on our projects, working with our customers, really getting exposure to what that role would look like at the end of the program. And then you finish off the program with a 12-week rotation within our education department. And although that is not a part of the role that you would do at the end of the program, it is a very important part of the rotation, because our education services work extremely closely with our professional services departments, and ensuring that you have that knowledge as you go out of that program is really important. So in terms of our next intake, so we're currently actively recruiting for our January intake for the next gen program. It's an assessment process that is 3 stages, where you'll be asked to present back your findings through the course of the interview process. But that may not be the role for everyone. So I also want to highlight, although we're not actively recruiting at the moment, we do have programs that touch into sales, customer success, pre-sales. They just start through different parts of the year. But I encourage you to register via the link that you'll see at the end of the call today. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me. Thank you for listening. And I'm going to hand it over to Earl.
Hello, everyone. I'm Earl Dixon. I'm the Vitality Program Tech Lead and a Principal Client Consultant at Broadcom. I've spent over 30 years in the mainframe, mostly as a system programmer, dealing with DB2. But now I'm over here at Broadcom and running a program that I think some of you will be excited about. But I'm going to first talk about our internship program. And our internship program, it runs from mid-May to mid-August, and it's for anyone that is a junior and above with some computing in their major. We would love a 3.5 GPA, just to be honest. And there's 4 different locations because this is an in-person paid program. We have Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Lisle, Illinois, which is just outside of Chicago, Plano, Texas, just outside of Dallas, and then Durham, North Carolina. Again, this is an opportunity for individuals that are looking for those internships, and it's really more about our application development. We're looking at full stack developers, assembler developers, and UI developers. And this could potentially lead to a long-term career after graduation, depending on how you do well in the program. So that is our internship program. So I'll give you more information through the links that you'll be provided with during this session. But then I'm going to also talk about our Vitality program. Our Vitality program is a program where we not only take new graduates, everyone is, of course, expected to have a 4-year degree, but we also look at change of career individuals, those that have graduated school, been out in the workforce, and realized they got a degree and they're not liking, what they're doing at this point, and want to start over and come into a place where they can have a true career. And that's what this program is about. We don't judge you on your degree. We judge you on your aptitude to be able to learn the mainframe. And we will teach you all the skills you need to know. Having a computer science background or something in that nature is a plus, but is not required. And I can give you a short example. We had one young lady who had a veterinarian degree, but she wanted to change her career after working with animals for a couple of years. And so she went and found us, found our program. We thought she had the aptitude, and we worked with her through our program. And she's now a senior engineer at Broadcom as for IDMS. And that is just 3 years ago. She was a veterinarian, and now she's a senior engineer. The program consists of you applying, of course, and then getting accepted into the program. It is a paid program. You'll get paid throughout. You'll go through about 6 months of training, ranging from mainframe foundations, where you'll learn everything basic about the mainframe. Then you'll have system programmer training. You get a week break in between, paid vacation, basically. But the system programmer is to get you acclimated with what a system programmer does within the mainframe space. And then from there, you'll get trained in one of Broadcom's many mainframe products. And then after your product training, we will actually assign you to various customers. And you'll do what's called the residency portion of our program, where you'll actually go work at one of these Fortune 500, Fortune 100 companies for a period of 3 to 6 months while we still pay you. And the ideal goal of this is for you to impress them and earn a full-time position. All of the companies that accept our residents are in the position to hire a resident. So it's up to you whether you go in and impress them to get that job. But we will support you all along the way. As you go through this journey, you'll have a mentor from the Broadcom side. You'll have career mentors. You'll have technical mentors. And then you'll also have a mentor from the customer side. And during that 3 to 6 months that you're in residency, most get hired within the 4-month range. You'll actually then become a permanent, employee of that customer. Along with that, we pay for all your travel whenever you have to travel for work. Usually, if you have to move because of the job, we'll put you in a corporate apartment during your residency as you get familiar with whatever city that you're going to live in. Now, one of the requirements of this Vitality program is that you be open and willing to relocate for a position. We always ask each individual what their preference is by region, whether it's Northeast, Southeast, Midwest, or what have you. But we will present you with all opportunities that come along so that you can make an informed decision of, you may say, I want to live in the Northeast, but an opportunity comes up, let's just say in North Carolina, and it's a great opportunity with a great company. You may want to have that in front of you so you can look at it and say, yes, I would like to go on that opportunity. And we'll move you to North Carolina and set you up for success because you're going to have mentors from our side and mentors from the customer side during your residency. That's how our Vitality residency program works. And our internship program, you'll get more information on that, where you can apply and such in the brochures that'll be sent out. Back to you, Derek.
Thanks, Earl. So now I'd like to hand it over to Shelly with IBM.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Shelly Meierarend. I work for IBM, and I have almost 25 years in IBM, and I started my career in mainframe, so it spans a lot of time there. Today, I am the IBM Z Global Skills Leader, and in my role, I get to work with clients who use the mainframe all around the world to help them with their resource and skills gaps by sharing all of the programs and offerings that IBM has for them to take advantage of. I get to work with universities and students to inspire them about mainframe technology. And I'm so excited that you are here on this session, as it shows that you truly have interest in our mainframe industry and our family here. As you can see here, while all of us have work for different client names, right? We're all working for different companies. We all here today with you have the same passion, and that is to inspire people around the world to want to come into the mainframe industry and want to have careers here. So I'm excited to share with you, highlight in the time that we have, some of the things that IBM is doing to really help you take advantage of some of the things that we're doing to understand what the mainframe is, just to get that knowledge, see if it really is something that you want to do. So let me share. First off, this week, and all of this will be at the end, we're going to share a slide that has some QR codes and some links. So you'll have that at your hands to be able to do. But this week, this Wednesday, IBM Z Day, this is IBM's premier yearly virtual conference. Over 200 speakers will be there, live demos, 5 different technical tracks that you can listen to all different kinds of sessions through. You can pick out what you want from an agenda. 120 countries will be on this conference, and from around the world, just hearing all of the news and different technology. You'll learn so much. There's hybrid cloud, AI, quantum safe security. There's a whole skills track where a lot of what I'm going to just share today will be even more in depth for you. You can find out, listen to some of our people that are new to Z, that have gone through some of our programs and offerings and work at client sites now. And they are sharing their experience on their new to Z journey because they're new in the platform. So you can hear what they have to say. So there's just so much. You can earn certificates by attending that day and doing some of the things that we have. You won't want to miss it. So clear your day on Wednesday and join IBM Z Day and learn so much more. The next week, you also will want to take advantage of this. If you're ready, we have a virtual career fair. And this is where IBM sponsors, and we have a platform that hosts a virtual career fair for us. So we have clients that want to hire, and they have their own virtual booth, and we invite job seekers to attend. There's no cost. You just go and sign up, but there is a prerequisite for this, and it's to take our IBM Z Explorer, which I'm going to talk about next. But this virtual career fair is really just, IBM does this to really help clients meet job seekers. Maybe you're graduating this December or maybe next May, and you want to find out more about companies that are local to you and communities which you live in today. So it's a great opportunity to meet different clients, hear how they use the mainframe, hear the opportunities that they have available, and just be positioned. They are the clients that attend will reach out. They will, look at the resumes that you put in, and hopefully, it will yield in a lot of interviews and jobs made available to folks. So it's just something that IBM is doing to pair clients with job seekers. But around our IBM Z Explorer, this is truly where you can go to learn if this is the technology for you. Our IBM Z Explorer is IBM's premier learning platform. It's year-round. It is just for you to get your hands, deep into what is the mainframe. It has, you develop different skills, and you can earn recognized industry badges for just taking the Z Explore. It is 3 different components, 3 different levels. It is, you earn badges. It's about 32 hours end to end throughout the whole time, and you will really grow. You take concepts and fundamentals and then advanced, and it allows you to do some coding. It allows you to do some system administration, but the whole time you are really in an environment of the mainframe. You're working on a mainframe in a learning environment. So it's really cool that you get to see. We've made it fun and funky and fresh so that you'll enjoy the experience. And this will really tell you if it is a technology for you. You can earn those badges. You can display them on your resume. You can display them on LinkedIn. And it truly does get the attention of clients who are looking to hire. So highly encourage you to, zap that QR code, go to that link, join IBM Z Explore. Again, no cost, but it is a great platform for you to learn. The next thing we have are Z Career Connection events. We do this around the globe at universities where our clients want to hire from. So clients will say, hey, I really want to work with this university down the street, and I really want to be able to hire from them and make them a pipeline. So we will go in and do career connection events. There's a link to a blog that we have with all the upcoming career connection events that we host. If you're in one of those universities or around one of those universities, you are, welcome to join. And this is where we just talk about the mainframe. We talk about the career opportunities, and it's a great place to start as well. We also have a student ambassador program, and so you can engage in that if you're in a university. We have global skills programs, we have apprenticeship programs, and that's everything that we do from a client perspective. If you're looking in-house, so just know that there's a lot of clients that are looking to recruit, and we help the clients do that by engaging you and inspiring you in some of those things I mentioned. And then, of course, IBM.com/careers. If you're looking for IBM specific careers, you can go there and look at the wide variety of things that we have there. So that's quickly, but that's some of the things that IBM is doing to help people find careers in the mainframe.
Sounds great. Thanks, Shelly. Sounds like a lot of opportunities. So, John, we'll pass it to you with Open Mainframe Project.
Awesome. Thank you so much. The Open Mainframe Project was really founded 8 years ago around the whole concept of how do we get a new generation really engaged with what the mainframe is about. And the mainframe community really looked at open source as a whole. And again, open source being a very rooted in the mainframe industry, but looking at across the bow at different industries and different verticals and horizontals, and seeing how open source was really something that brought interest to students. It brought them to the table. It helped them build up their portfolios and careers. It gave them an area for them to contribute in the areas of interest. And, the thought was, why don't we do the same thing in the mainframe realm? And, the Open Mainframe Project was founded back in 2015. This was one of the first programs that really kicked off was our mentorship program. And I was fortunate. I got to meet our first round of mentees in Atlanta at Share that year. They were super excited. They were a little bit in awe in a lot of ways because they really didn't know what to expect. But many of those mentees out of that first class, and we have seen in the time since then, stay in the mainframe industry. Some of them are employed by member companies or other organizations within the mainframe space, but all of them get to make practical impacts on the mainframe industry as a whole, because they're making contributions to open source for the benefit of the mainframe. Like, that is one of the biggest cornerstone pieces. And all of those students get to work with amazing engineers and architects and folks that have built their careers around it. And since launch, we've had over 100 mentees that have went down this path here. Today, this program is hugely grown. We had over 700 students apply just this last year alone, which is another record for us. We continue to grow every single year. And like I said, the most interesting thing is that these students get to see a lot of the different projects and opportunities that they can contribute to. They get to check them out. They get to get involved in the communities. They get to understand who the people are. They get to see if the thing is of interest to them. And then they can go and contribute and they can join. And all these mentorships are paid mentorships. We have students that have done it all around the world. So it's a virtual mentorship program that we have done. We've had students from 6 continents around the world, not yet Antarctica, but we're holding out for them. And like I said, it's an area that students have been not only the summer, but we've also do some in the fall and the spring as well. So if you're a student, maybe you're at the back end of your career, your studies, and you're thinking, what am I going to do next? I'm looking here in some of the polls here, and I know there's a number of you that are going through a career change as well. So this is also a cool opportunity here to get involved. Check it out. We put all of our mentorships alongside the other ones that are offered here for our Linux Foundation projects on our LFX mentorship website. The Open Mainframe Project, we're one of the largest mentorships in all the Linux Foundation. And we see a lot of our mentors or mentees that are really focused and really showcased in a number of the programs that we do here. And they've made great contributions, not only just to broad open source like Kubernetes, Cloud Foundry, OpenStack, and a number of other great technologies out there, but they've also done contributions to a number of our projects like Zoe, Cobalt Check, the COBOL programming course, the software discovery tool. A lot of these mentees actually stick with the projects afterwards and have become maintainers. So it's a really cool opportunity that we have seen. We've even had mentees that have become mentors, a couple of years down the road. So it's a really interesting, way to do that. So I invite all of you. I mean, we have a lot of folks here that have some pretty amazing programs at different levels here. I really invite you to kind of check out what we're doing at the Open Mainframe Project, and hopefully that can be something that maybe sparks some interest for you and gets you working with some of the amazing people we have in the mainframe community.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it. So, I hope that starts to get people excited. There are lots of opportunities here in various forms. So whether you're doing something from a system perspective, you're doing something from an application development perspective, you can even be adjacent by doing Scrum Master, Project Manager, Tech Lead. There are just so many different opportunities available to you on the mainframe platform and in tech in general. Before we move on to questions, and for anyone that does have a question, I direct you to the Q&A, and we're going to go ahead and answer those live. But before I pivot over to that, I really just want to reiterate the fact that all of our companies are very symbiotic, right? So, I work for a bank, and we actually use software products from everyone else on this call. We all have different staff that works in various capacities, whether it's tech in general or specifically on Z. So there's a lot of different opportunities available, and we're just excited to share that with you. And I think that's going to lead us into our first few sets of questions. So for the first couple, they're really around making sure that the recording is available. So obviously this is being recorded and that'll be shared with everyone. So for our next question, I'm going to open this one up to the panelists, whoever wants to answer. Have there been any notable occurrences where you saw attrition in talent? And if so, how did your company and team manage to learn from this and prevent further attrition? Don't all jump in once, because I know a lot of you
I can take that when I speak of the Vitality program itself. When we first started the program, we would notice a little bit of attrition. But what we did was we circled the wagons and really came back to really giving them a great set of mentors, and making sure that they were always engaged in learning what they wanted to learn as they went through their journey in the Vitality program. And what we've seen from there, of course, COVID didn't help at all, in the beginning. But once we started to come out of COVID, and our screenings were a little more intense as well, just to make sure that we're getting the right people and you really truly want a mainframe career. And Shelly mentioned something earlier. We implore anyone that attempts to apply for the Vitality program to make sure you've taken at least the first module of Z Explorer so that you get an understanding of what the Z systems are all about, and if that's a place you really want to be. And so we did that, and that along with the true mentorship, as John was mentioning, I think is the true way that you can keep individuals engaged. Another part of this is, for managers, we can't manage how we managed in the 1990s and the early 2000s. This is a whole new generation. And so we have to adapt our style of management to cope with their needs, and meet them where they are. So I think it's a combination of things that can cut down on attrition. So I'll let someone else chime in there as well.
From a client perspective, I get to work with clients every day. And, from an attrition in the industry right now, I believe that truly these jobs in mainframe have been so amazing that people have stayed in them for decades. And a lot of the people that are in these jobs today truly are retirement eligible. They're ready to go off in their journey and take their, next sunsets. And there is a need for people in the mainframe industry to backfill a lot of these roles. And so, inspiring students, inspiring people around the world to want to do these careers is what we're all here to do and share with you. But it is, an amazing journey. And that's why the people have stayed in these careers for a long time. So we encourage you to get in, take Z Explorer, learn the technology, see if it's right for you. I know you hear about data and AI and cybersecurity and all these cool technologies, but mainframe is just as cool. And you can do a lot of those things right there on the platform. Derek can tell you he's knee deep in it this weekend. So it's just, a lot of things that you can do. It's a great career path for those who are entering it today.
Yep, and I'm gonna echo you, Shelly. So honestly, that creates a lot of opportunity. So that's how I got involved right out of college. I was literally told that people are retiring left and right, and there hasn't really been an open door for hiring. That's changed. So now, you're not only having a problem finding people with the skills, you're not even finding people with enough interest. And that's why we're trying to spark that interest. And, if you have the aptitude for it and you're hungry and you want to learn something new, there could be just a huge career field for you. And I found myself in that same position. And Shelly, I think we've been talking about this for like the last 10, 15 years or so since I started to where I am today. There's a lot of room for growth, and it's something you don't see in a lot of fields. A lot of times people always wonder, well, what's next? How am I going to get the opportunity to shine and grow? What's my career path? How can I see myself in the next 10 years? Well, it's hard if you have a ton of competition and people in your way. Right now, the road is open, and it's on you to drive and take that path. So that's how I'd answer that question. And there's a lot of training materials out there. And, we actually send people over to IBM, to BMC, to Broadcom, all the above to get training. So, everything's out there.
I just want to echo that as well, Derek. I joined BMC 7 years ago, and at that point we were saying everybody's retiring. What are we going to do? All this knowledge, all these skills, and I think we took quite a while to actually go, oh, actually, we really need to do something about this now. And Shelly touched on it too. There is this stigma that mainframe is not cool, it's not sexy, it's not like hungry skills for the future. But my biggest learning is there's nothing that happens on this that doesn't really happen on the mainframe. You want to transfer money to your friend, you want to pay a bill, it all touches the mainframe. And it's the quickest and easiest way I describe it to people I talk to is it is cool. Look at everything you can do on your phone. I don't even go to a bank anymore and pay in checks because my phone does it. So I just wanted to just really encourage that there is so much happening in that mainframe space, and so many directions that you can go in. I personally love hearing about everything on the system programmer side, because we actually hire a lot of system programmers to become consultants. because they have that basic knowledge of the solutions, how our products integrate with IBM, with Broadcom, with other technologies. And you have such an advantage to get up to speed really, really fast and just take your career in so many different directions.
And speaking on what you were saying about, people thinking, the mainframe is old technology and such, I've literally heard that when I started in the mainframe, literally in 1990. And, I've been in this industry 30 years. It's going nowhere. Banks aren't going to give it up. The governments aren't giving it up. Most of the main players in the mainframe space are now walking away from the mainframe. And, to come on top of that, on average, mainframers make more than most in the IT industry. Let's just be honest about that. It's a niche, and we're very skilled individuals, and anyone coming into the mainframe space will get that same skilling up that you'll need to bring this into the newest age. So please don't be scared because you think it's going away, because it's never going away.
And I think that actually pivots to our next question. And John, I think I'll direct this one to you. Someone mentioned that they're a CS major, but without a lot of mainframe specific skills. What do you recommend they should do before applying for an open mainframe project summer mentorship?
Awesome question. I was a CS major too, so I can relate right with you. The cool part about open source is you can kind of go check everything out that you would be potentially working on right now. I mean, all of the code for these projects are up on GitHub. The communications and discussion boards are all public on mailing list or Slack or similar tools like that. So if I were you, and the first thing I would do is I would start checking those out. Check out what the project's like. Look at the discussions, look at what's going on, check out the code, see if that's of even interest to you. So, start at that one level there. The second level is try to sort of understand a little bit of the mainframe technology. I think everyone here has pointed to at least a couple of dozen great resources that can help you. We have one project here in the Open Mainframe project, Mainframe Open Education, that's actually building also and collaborating, pulling a lot of this together. So there's a lot of great resources out there that can just give you enough insight on what this platform, what this architecture is all about. And the third is I would just jump in there and start asking questions. Like usually what I see is when our mentorships go up on the LFX mentorship website is, and I hear this from all of our mentors, they are flooded with people asking them questions. People are jumping on the Slack forums. They're looking at issues. They're trying to download it. They're doing all these things. Like they're getting their hands on them with it. So I would start there. I mean, that's the beauty of at least how our mentorships are structured, is that it's all open and you can go just check them out, see what you like, see what you don't like, and apply for the ones that are of interest, and then from there even start to meet some of the mentors and ask them questions.
And I know this one, yeah, I was about to pivot too. So I know this one was focused towards Open Mainframe project, but I know there's two other items that people might be interested in. So Earl, I'll start with you. Go for it.
I mean, Z Explorer is the best way to whether you have a computer science degree or information systems or what have you. Start with Z Explorer. Get a feel for what the mainframe is all about. Shelly, I know you will back me up on that. But when it comes to the programs that we run, as far as how do you get involved and so what, contact me. We actually are launching our new class starting January. We have an orientation actually tomorrow at 3:00 Eastern time. If you would like to be included in that, just shoot me an email. My information will be on the screen here. Shoot me an email. I'll send you an invite to that. And it'll give you all the information about the Vitality program as a whole. There's also the link, of course, for the internship. But what I would like you to do if you're interested, and what I don't want you guys to have is this imposter syndrome. I don't want you thinking, oh my God, these guys have been in it 30 years. I can never compete. Yes, you can. If you have the right aptitude and you have some computer science background, you can compete in this world. not one system is all that different than the other. It's just a different way of learning it. So don't hold yourself back because you have a CS or an information degree or what have you. Make sure you're investigating and finding out for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Don't take Shelly's, John's, or the rest of the people on this panel. Go look at it for yourself. But if you're truly interested in mainframe, please look at Z Explorer and some of the things that John mentioned. But also, if you're interested in learning more about, the Vitality program or any other programs, everything's on the screen here. But we do have an orientation tomorrow for our first cohort of 2024. It starts in January. And we'll be hiring those individuals in November.
And I'll add to Earl in that I work with clients every single day. And they know that a lot of the universities out there today are not teaching end-to-end mainframe. They may do a class. You may have Java or Python or COBOL or some kind of mainframe class in your computer science or enterprise computing curriculums, but it's not enough. And don't think that it's not enough, because you can take Z Explorer to learn more about mainframes, see if it's a technology that you do love and want to get up and do this every day. And the thing about it is clients know that if they meet you and you have the desire, the passion, the determination to want to learn, to want to be in this career, to want to work on this technology, they know the outlets in which they can train you in. IBM has an amazing global skills accelerator program, and clients know, as well as all my other friends here have programs as well that you've heard. Clients know they have all of us to help them skill you up in the mainframe. There's amazing vendors out there, Interskill and ProTech, and so many that also, contribute to everything that we do in this industry and to educate and skill. So as long as you bring your determination and drive and passion, they know they can train you, because we all have ways to do that. We all of us started here on this call in mainframe, whether it was yesterday or 30 years ago, all right, we all started somewhere and we had to be trained too. So don't let that deter you from a career in mainframe.
Perfectly said. And I think that takes us to our next question. How do you ensure that learning is symbiotic so that mentors and mentees both benefit from the dynamic? And if you don't mind, I'll start with this one. So I think sometimes people look at it as like a quarterback syndrome, right? They think, okay, I'm a starting quarterback. Do I want to train my backup so he can replace me? That's not the play here. So the thing is, everyone has a vested interest in making sure that there's support and support roles for things going forward. When I first started, I had a lot of mentors, and those mentors have since retired. Well, I work for financial institutions, so their money is literally under my protection. They want to make sure that the people that they've trained make sure that their money is accessible and it's not going to go away. So they have a vested interest. And other than that, they want to take vacations. They want to be able to go somewhere. If they're the ones that have to support it 24/7, they can't go anywhere. So this is why everyone has a vested interest in making sure that we are training other people. We are giving that knowledge back. And, if it's not one of those things, a lot of people are just altruistic and want to pass on their knowledge. You end up becoming very, very skilled at something. A lot of people just want to share that. So I'll I'll leave it with that one. But does anyone else want to chime in?
Yeah, I mean, as far as like the whole mentorship aspect of it, not everyone's meant to be a mentor. Let's just get that out in the open. But mentees, you guys that are out there that are going to be the mentees, you have a significant role to play in this. I did a share session on mentor-mentee and how important it is. And one of the things I focused on is the mentee, and how you need to come to the table with your own so that you can help the mentor you better. It's a relationship. And it depends on the type of mentor, whether a technical mentor, it's more about technical, but a career mentor or other mentors that you're going to have through your career, and you should have many. You should have many as you go through your career. I've had many, and I still have some that are still mentoring me, and I mentor many. The bottom line is form the relationship with your mentor. It's not about a mentor just telling you what to do. You guys need to talk and discuss. And sometimes when that mentor-mentee relationship isn't working out, you need to recognize that, because sometimes that can become toxic. Let's just be honest. But putting the right mentor with the right mentee is the key to success in anything you do, whether it's mainframe or anything else in life. And I'll leave it at that.
And we actually have someone who was a summer mentee of the Open Mainframe Mentorship in 2023 out there. So, I mean, I'm glad this is making the rounds. It's good news. So,
I just knew John was going to have something to say on mentorship.
No, I'm excited. I mean, and I think all of our programs, are really coming from the same area of how do we get students better connected. I'm going through the college process with my oldest daughter. She's a senior, and we did an official visit last week, and we've been going through all this. And the interesting thing is school is a whole lot different than when I went 20 plus years ago, and the amount of work that is done within universities to help make students successful is really amazing. In fact, I wish some of it was around when I was going to school, and I'm sure many of you panelists probably would agree with that. And I think the work that I know we're doing, and we see BMC and Broadcom and IBM and MT Bank and others are doing the same thing, is really continuing to help build upon the work that is doing to really help connect students' interest of what they want to do for their careers, but get them engaged in it early on in their university studies so that they can be prepared to be really strong out in the workforce, because it's one of the hardest adjustments that any of you who are students out there will go through, from the I'm doing work because my professor instructor tells me to I'm in the workforce and I'm having to make those decisions, and I'm having to set that direction, and I'm having to prioritize things that are coming at me. It's a hard skill. And I know for myself, when I was making that transition, it was a really hard one for me to go through. But I think programs like these here, and I'm sure the IBM, Broadcom, BMC, and M&T Bank ones have it, but I know for Open Mainframe, part of our program is specifically that, is our mentee and mentor sit down together and figure out what the work is to do. And the mentors aren't telling the mentees what to do. The mentees are looking at the scope of work and figure out, what's my project plan? How am I going to approach it? What is the time I need for these? What are the resources I need to be successful at this? So it's more than just learning the mainframe, but it's also learning how to work in a professional environment, which is really a whole new set of skills. And I'm thrilled, at least for the Open Mainframe Project program, our mentorship, that's a core component. And like I said, I'm sure all the rest of yours have those componentries as well. And I think it's one of those skills that is more and more becoming just so important to be successful in whatever career you get yourself into.
Yeah, you're absolutely right on that. Like, and those coming out of college, and then jumping into the workspace. Yeah, in the mainframe space, there's a lot of controls in place. You have to learn how to work with groups of people, not just, okay, I'm going to work with this guy on my team and that's it. Like, no, you have to work with this team, you have to work with that team, because as you make changes to this mainframe, it affects everyone. And especially your customer, the bottom line. When you go to stick your card in the ATM, you do want money to come out. And so, isn't that right, Derek? So when you work in this environment, teaming skills is one of the key factors. Communication skills is another critical factor. Things such as those soft skills. Make sure you have those soft skills when you get into the workforce, regardless of where you go into the workforce, but particularly in the mainframe.
So we've only got a couple minutes left,
Okay.
and I want to be respectful of time. So I wanted to just give each panelist one last chance, a quick 30 seconds or less on any lasting thoughts that they had. And Jen, I'll start with you.
I'm just going to go with the best career advice I think I give to this age group is just don't be afraid to try. Be curious. You'll find things you love. You will find things that you do not like. But it's having that brave heart to say, I enjoy that, and that's where my skill set is, and run with it. Just there's no wrong answers really.
Thanks. Earl, pass it to you.
Yeah, I would just say, as you can see from this panel, and I can tell you unequivocally, if you look at IBM, Broadcom, and BMC, we are actually direct competitors. But we come together at places like this, in places like Share and GSC in UK, and we encourage the community as a whole, along with the Open Mainframe Project. We encourage the community as a whole. So this is the type of support you have in this industry where even competitors are here to support you throughout your entire journey. So there's no better place to be except for the mainframe.
Well said. Well said. Shelly?
All I will say is today is your opportunity to build the tomorrow you want. We have armed you with all of these QR codes. We have armed you with every single thing that we possibly have in a few seconds. If you want to learn more, reach out to any one of us on LinkedIn. We're there. We're here to help. Take down our names now. Hit us up on LinkedIn. But it's up to you now. So we're sharing with you the amazing career journeys that you can have in this industry. And you can see the mainframe industry truly is a family. So, I know we've got Darren on from InterSkill. He's amazing. And we're all here together that, this is what we do. And we want you to join us. We're sharing everything we have. We don't care which, outlet you go to, but here's the start. Now you have the drive and the passion, and come join us.
And John?
I mean, I really want to plus one what a lot of people say here. I mean, there's a lot of great resources, things that are really being built up here. I can say candidly, I was in a number of your shoes. It was a long time ago. I won't give you the exact number of years to protect the innocent. But I do know, I think two things looking back, I think should be good guideposts for you. One is do what you love. Do something that makes you wake up every day and feel inspired and feel that it's really important to you. And I think second is, know that the path that you start today doesn't have to be the same path in 5 years or 10 years or 15 or 20 or even, at the end of your career. And I think a number of you who are going through career transitions right now can speak to this. Build up skills, build up experiences, know that this is always evolving, and find the things that you truly love. And like Shelly says, is tons of resources here as opportunities to get yourself into.
Perfect. I don't think I can say anything better. Just thank you for joining, and hope everyone looks at the opportunities in front of them. Keely, I'll pass it back to you.
Well, thank you so much, Derek, and thank you to our great panelists for sharing the insights. But I think, as everyone really said here, the tools are in your hands, and we want you to come join our family in the mainframe ecosystem. I've had a unique perspective on the mainframe since I started, because I began within an independent media organization working across competitors in this space, but building skills and attracting new mainframers and getting more people on the platform has always been and will always be a ground on which we all come together and work to help you come join us. So with that said, thank you so much for joining today's webinar. Scan all these beautiful QR codes, and we look forward to seeing you on the platform.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.